Okay. Welcome to the DZ Report. Don't you know I love haters? I love them all. I love y'all. If I had 7 foot wingspan, I hug you all. So yeah. So basically, Rashod Bateman said some things. Well, it was yesterday. What's up, Nerdy Blue? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. And listen, I've been saying the same thing about the Ravens for a long time, and it's like Raven fans are very delusional. Um, y'all talk about Dallas fans, but I'm like Raven fans, y'all delusional because the Ravens fans have never held the management. What's up, crack? Ain't nothing, man. Putting in some work. I just woke up. I got home, ate, and went to sleep, bro. They've been killing me. Then it snowed on me today. It's like I got all the seasons in one day. I got snow, sunny, then a little rain with the snow. It was crazy today. I don't know what the hell it was a crazy ass. It felt like I was in the day after tomorrow for real. Shit. It's crazy. But Rashod Bateman, I've said the same thing about the Baltimore Ravens for a long time. Everybody love to praise the Ravens about their top flight, their top class organization, how they're the best in the whole league, and it's a bunch of crock. Because if you look at their defense, right, they wasted their defense. They were supposed to have about 4 Super Bowls. All they needed was a quarterback. They didn't get a quarterback until Joe Flacco came. Then they signed Joe Flacco to that big deal. They still kept losing because you know why? In the common denominator that nobody wants to talk about is the strength and conditioning coach who basically almost ended damn near every Ravens player that was on the team career. It's crazy. And then you wasted your defense. Then they did Ed Reed dirty. Everybody forget how they did Ed Reed. So they've always given the Ravens a pass. Now, Rashod Bateman, the Ravens haven't had a quarterback. Then they got Lamar. Lamar Jackson is their best quarterback in history. Everybody wants to go to the playoffs and say, well, Joe Flacco did this, Joe Flacco did that. Well, Joe Flacco was good in the playoffs, but the overall quarterback, it's like the Eli Manning argument. Playoffs, I have no problem. But dog, you can't be a half season quarterback. You can't suck in the regular season. Then when the playoffs come, you turn into Joe Montana. It's like it don't work that way. But at the same time, I can't put it all on Joe Flacco a lot. To me, the problem was John Harbaugh and his remedial offenses. The coordinators that John Harbaugh picked run some of the most remedial plays. And it's not just with Lamar Jackson. When they had Joe Flacco, they used to run some terrible plays. And then they really never fit the personnel that they were trying to run the plays for. You got a guy in Rashod Bateman who was at Minnesota. He's a Golden Gopher. and he just used to destroy. He was a speedster in college. He was destroying cats, and he stayed healthy all 4 years. He get to the Ravens, he getting hurt and hurt and hurt and hurt after like each season. Like he's getting a serious injury, then he's trying to rehab and get himself back, and he can't do it because the strength and conditioning coach is trying to overwork him when his tissue is soft. See, people don't understand when you're dealing with like knee injuries, ankle, that's a lot of tissue, a lot of muscle that you're dealing with. Is not just bone. And if you're not able to really work that tissue right, if you don't rehab it correctly, you're not going to be effective coming back. But the Baltimore Ravens got called out. So Rashod Bateman basically said, I'm going to pull it up. So basically, Eric DaCosta, basically, you know, Eric DaCosta basically talked about how do I say? He talked about the not hitting on that he didn't hit. Let me see. I could pull it up. The Eric DaCosta. Fair use sack, fair use sack.
One of my favorite books, I'll quote, "Let the Wild Rumpus Begin." Got any questions? You guys go ahead and ask. Yeah, Lamar and I are talking. We met recently. It's an ongoing discussion. We both understand the urgency of the situation. It's been a good dialogue, a good discussion. I'm optimistic as I continue to be optimistic, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, well, you have a lot of regard for the player first and foremost. I think when you deal with an agent, sometimes you're able to speak, very freely. Position yourself a certain way. You have different arguments that you can use that maybe you wouldn't say to a player, or, So I think that's part of it. There's a lot of respect, tremendous respect, because I'm with a player like Lamar, a player like Roquan Smith, who also represented himself every day. You see the commitment, you understand where they're coming from. So it's definitely a different dynamic. It can be challenging, but it's doable, as we've proven, and we continue to be optimistic about it. Yeah, so that's a question that I appreciate. And what I've kind of said for the last 2 years is I'm not going to talk specifically about any discussions about the contract. And Lamar and I had that agreement. Actually, we forged that agreement probably 2 years ago down in West Palm. And I think we've both tried to live up to that. So I'd appreciate the understanding in that regard. The specifics of it, we can talk about the process, but I'm not going to go into all those things. So Rashod is doing really well. Obviously, it was a pretty serious injury. I think we got out ahead of it to a degree. Rashod and the club, we decided to do the surgery. And I think it was probably good that we did it at that point because the injury could have gotten worse. He's doing well. We text quite a bit. I know he's very, very excited, chomping at the bit to get into the off-season program. We're very excited about him as a player. Can't wait to see what he can do this year. Well, the Senior Bowl is invaluable to us. It's always been that way. I think, that goes back to Ozzie Newsome and Phil Savage. Ozzie playing at Alabama, Phil Savage with his Alabama roots. We have a strong appreciation for, the SEC. Being down there, what we've seen, the very best players in the country typically show up. We have a chance to watch these guys practice every single day. The access we get is incredible. Jim does an amazing job, Phil Savage before him. The interview process, they've done a wonderful job of streamlining that. And for us to get that type of unfettered access is really incredible. We feel like it gives us the best chance to know the guys, and it helps us very well with the evaluation process. Well, we're always preparing for every contingency. We look at every situation, free agency, the draft. We're talking about any possible situation that might arise with players. In this business, you get surprised daily. And so you have to be prepared for any situation. What that means, what your cap looks like, what your cap might look like, what players are available, what players aren't available. Oftentimes we look at guys in free agency that we're excited about, and they get franchised. They're off the market. Sometimes you'd say, oh, there's nobody at this position that we're looking for. Next thing you know, there's four or five cap casualties that hit the market. And so it's an ongoing process. What we try to do is strategize and plan. Going back to January, we go down to Jupiter with Steve Bisciotti, our owner, kind of go through all the different contingency plans that we can, risk management, looking at all the different opportunities that might arise, and figure out what's going to happen. Yeah, well, there's a couple different situations where that can go. There's a couple different franchise tags. We're hopeful that we'll get a deal done with Lamar before that happens. But sure, they're big numbers. We've known they're big numbers. We're prepared for that. And we've got 4 or 5 or 6 different plans based on what happens over the next 10 days. We have not. Oh, there's no doubt. Well, you can't win in this league without a strong quarterback. I mean, that's been proven. So we want Lamar here. We think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's certainly one of our best players, and we want him back. And so, yeah, we understand that. Living in a world without a quarterback is a bad world to live in. And I think there's a lot of GMs and coaches who would probably say that, who are living in that world right now. We're aware of that. I think we've been blessed since 2008 to have Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson. And my goal is to continue that. Yeah, well, I was trained as a scout. I started out as a scout. It's kind of what my development was at. So I scout everybody, anyways. I don't really shortchange. I love football. I love the art of evaluation. I'm going to look at all the top players. I'm going to do the top 150 players in every single draft class. I've done that. I look at the top guys in free agency. I enjoy it. And so for me, it's not something that changes year to year. That's just a part of the process to build a draft board. You have to look at the players. You have to evaluate the players. Someone's got to do it. And so I would rather have it be me than somebody else. That's a excellent. I could talk. I don't think you guys want me to talk about that because I'll talk for 15 or 20 minutes on that alone. But I will say this: you got to have a lot of draft picks every year. You've got to draft a lot of players because guys do get hurt. And there's a element in the draft where just having more picks proves over the long time to be a good thing. It's like investing in the stock market. You might have some up and down years, but if you continue to invest, eventually you're going to see you come out ahead. And so that's kind of how I look at the draft. The other thing you have to have, I think, is a really strong performance department, a wellness department. That's training room, that's wellness, that's mental health, that's diet, nutrition, strength coach, performance people. They've got to be the very best as well because players are going to get hurt. And you can get incremental value by having the very best people working for you to get your players back on the field. Excuse me? No. Marcus is a free agent. He's a guy that I hold in very, very high regard. I've had a few conversations with Marcus's agent, who's a good friend, and Marcus is a great friend. He and I have communicated. That will be ongoing. But that's a guy that when you talk about true Ravens, guys that have done a lot for your team, for me, for the Ravens over the last 4 years, Marcus is on that list. Yeah, JK finished strong. Really, really impressed with his passion, his work ethic, the way that he battled back from a very, very serious knee injury. It was very impressive to me to see how, he really kind of matured over the course of the season. He came back from that second procedure surgery that he had, and he started to really look like the old JK, which is extremely exciting for the organization. And we fully expect JK to have a great year this year. No, I'm not really concerned about that. Again, the only camps that I know is me and Lamar, and we talk and we text, and so I'm not really too concerned with perceptions. I've seen a lot of perceptions in the last 27 years, and a lot of times those perceptions are probably not accurate. So Lamar and I continue to talk. I have a lot of admiration and respect for Lamar. I think he would say the same about me. And like I said, it's a tough negotiation. There are some dynamics that make it challenging, but I remain optimistic, and we remain talking, and I'm excited about that. I think it's a good question. I think, Tony, I would say a lot of people would say the same thing. It's a challenging position to evaluate in different ways. I don't have if I had an answer, that means I would probably have some better receivers, I guess. We keep trying. I think there's a lot of things that go along with that position. Sometimes it is tied to the quarterback. And I think it's tied to things like durability. It's tied to, a lot of things. We're going to keep swinging. There have been some guys that, have been successful players for us that were draft picks. We've never really hit on that all-pro type of guy, which is disappointing, I would say. But it's not for lack of effort. We believe in what we do. We believe in our scouting. We believe in the system that we have, the scouting system that we have. It's one of those anomalies that I really can't explain other than to say we're not going to stop trying. We're going to keep trying. I think we've drafted, I don't know, Chad would probably know, but probably at least 5 or 6 receivers in the last 4 years, maybe. We're going to just keep swinging, and hopefully at one of these points we'll hit the ball out of the park. But that's our goal. We understand the importance of the position, so we'll keep trying to do it. Yeah, I think it's a good class. I think there's probably 5 or 6 guys that you look at as.
Now, that is what pissed Rashod Bateman off. Now, everybody is sitting there like, well, he just talked glowingly about Rashod Bateman. No, y'all didn't catch it. He was saying that when picking the receivers is also tied to the quarterback. Now, I wanted y'all to hear that part up to there. Now, let's go to Rashod Bateman. Now, trying to go to the Twitter. So he basically came out and said to when he talked about the receivers, they took multiple swings. Rashod Bateman came out and said, how about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing the finger at us in number 8. Hold on. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see because I want to see the tweet. Okay, a reporter named Sarah Ellison, she basically tweeted Eric DeCosta on problems drafting receivers. If I had an answer, that would probably mean I would have some better receivers. We're going to keep swinging, which you guys heard in that presser he did at the combine. Now, Rashod Bateman came out and said, how about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing the finger at us in number 8? Blame the one you let do this. We take heat 24/7 and keep us healthy. Care about us and see what happens. Ain't no promises though. Tired of y'all lying and capping on players for no reason. Like right here, a guy named Brent Law, number 25. Brent Law 25. Now, Quincy Adebayo said, definitely ruined my career. 3-year season ending injuries in a row after being healthy my entire career prior. Now, this is a former player with the Ravens. Dude named Brent Law 25 said, kinda like at R underscore Bateman 2. Dude was healthy in college and comes to Baltimore and hasn't finished the season yet. Hopefully, new changes lead to new healthy success. So let's see. Now, there was something else. I'm trying to see. It was another player. Blame the one you let. Okay, so he basically said, how about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing the finger at us in number 8, which he's referring to Lamar Jackson for all the slow people. Blame the one you let do this. We take heat 24/7. Now, everybody is like, what does he mean by blame the one who you let do this? Everybody is talking about the strength and conditioning coach they got rid of, which is Saunders, who nobody liked. Even some of the players in the old regime didn't like him. And then you have what else you had? Then you had Greg Roman. Greg Roman, he runs a very run first. Now, former Ravens receiver Hollywood Brown quoted a screenshot of Bateman's tweet and added, let him cook in support. Baltimore has been criticized in recent years as a team that is not receiver friendly because of its offense. That could change under new OC Todd Monken. Now, there was another player who said something. He was a former Raven too, and he said, I can't think of his name. He basically said, I don't want to sound like that guy, but Rashod Bateman is 100% correct. Now, what did he mean by letting what he said? Hold on, what he said? Yeah, care about us and see. Oh yeah, How about you play to your player's strength and stop pointing the finger at us in number 8? Blame the one you let do this. Now, look, everybody knows I'm not a John Harbaugh fan. I'm not a Harbaugh guy at all. I don't like Jim. I don't like John. I think they're overrated, in my opinion. But hey, everybody says, man, you think every coach overrated. No, I don't think every coach overrated. I think them two are. John Harbaugh, in my opinion, I think a lot of times he let a lot of stuff go down. And I don't think Rashod Bateman was talking about Greg Roman or the strength of just them. Those two were a part of it, but he's talking about John Harbaugh. And everybody's like, man, how did you get that out of John Harbaugh? Because, Greg, because who's your head coach? Doesn't the head coach overrule the offensive coordinator? Unless you're in Dallas. Unless you're in Dallas. Excuse me. Unless you're in Dallas and Jerry Jones is your guy, and Jerry Jones likes the boy wonder who now in San Diego. Now, he said if you let them do what they do, which I believe he was talking to John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has been known to pick these coordinators. He's picked these coordinators because they're buddies, they're partners and everything. You know, they cool, they chill with each other and things like that. And it's like, come on. John Harbaugh had a chance last year to going into the season. He could have told Greg Roman, look, we need to expand on the offense. They were expanding on it with Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman got hurt. He was balling in the Dolphins game, but the Ravens have had problems keeping a lead. They've blown a lot of leads, and I blame John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is a terrible situational coach. Everybody gave him a pass. Look, I'm not a Joe Flacco fan, but Joe Flacco wasn't his fault a lot of times. The problem was John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh struggles in situational football. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he gets a brain freeze or what. But I don't know what it is. All I know is this. You keep blowing big leads, blowing a lot of big leads. You're not taking care of your guys. As an organization, I think he also is taking a shot at Bisciotti. Bisciotti was publicly on record saying, like, I can't believe the Browns did that deal. He was pissed off at that deal. But, dog, you would have still had to pay Lamar Jackson his money, bro. What are you talking about? Y'all have never had a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. What Lamar Jackson has done in 5 seasons, that has been the best of any quarterback in y'all franchise history. Everybody's like, well, Flacco won in the playoffs. Dude, Flacco won in the playoffs because you had Ray Rice. You had Jacoby Jones. You had Torrey Smith. You had Anquan Bolden. Then after Anquan Bolden helped you guys win a Super Bowl, y'all didn't even pay the man his money. Y'all ain't even pay him his money. Y'all ain't pay him his money or nothing. You guys are cheap as hell, and that's your problem. You guys are running it like a mom and pop shop. And the Ravens are overrated. You guys had a historically great defense for a decade, and y'all didn't get back to the Super Bowl till the early 2000 teens? Are you kidding me? After you had arguably the greatest middle linebacker in history, arguably the greatest safety in history, then you guys had a great, probably one of the best pass rushers ever in history in Terrell Suggs. So it's like, what are we talking about here? And then you're going to come out and say what you say. Yeah, them players got on your head because Eric DeCosta has been effing up. He's been terrible. He's been terrible. Now everybody like, oh well, he replaced Ozzy. Ozzy was getting the players, but the problem is you got John Harbaugh who got all this control. And it's like, dude, you got all this control, but you're hitting and missing. You're not really doing anything to help the team. You're not helping the team come into fruition. You're not helping the team play better. It's crazy. It's like, what are we talking about? Then you made the comments you did. Everybody's like, oh, there's no, Eric DeCosta and John Harbaugh are great at how do I say it? They're great at spinning things and talking in the media. They know how to double talk. So what they did was this is what they did. He was saying that it also depends on the quarterback too when it comes to receivers. What do you mean by it depends on the quarterback? Oh, so you're trying to say that, oh, the quarterback, oh, he needs to make these receivers better? Is that what you're saying? It's like, dude, y'all been taking shots at Lamar all the time. It's like you guys, and that's when Rashod Bateman got mad because he heard that everybody thought he was talking about the receiver part. I'm like, bro, it's not just the receiver part. You're sneaked that. That's why he threw number 8 in there, saying stop blaming me and us and number 8. And that's the facts. You guys are resting on your laurels of having 2 Super Bowls and having that historical great defense. You guys wasted that historical great defense, Eric DeCosta. You did. You wasted that defense. Y'all were supposed to have 3 or 4 Super Bowls. But then you're going to come out and say the receivers depend on the quarterback? Oh, so you're basically saying that, oh, well, Lamar, he's athletic, but he could play, but, he still has some things to improve on. No, you have to get him receivers. This guy has shown you he can play with some of the bottom of the barrel receivers. You had Hollywood Brown. I'm not saying Hollywood Brown. I'm not a fan of his, but all you had to do was go to free agency and get a receiver. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles was like, look, man, we finna help Jalen out. We finna help Jalen out. We gonna hook Jalen up. They got him to me the best receiver in the game in A.J. Brown. Then they got him Devontae Smith, who was the best college receiver coming out. You got Dallas Goddard at tight end, so he's good. Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs, Gabriel. Who else you want to go to? Aaron Rodgers has had receivers for years. My thing is this is like, if you talking about it depends on the quarterback, no, it depends on you. Yeah, Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase, Taj Boyd, and T. Higgins. You got 3 top receivers on one team running an extension of the West Coast offense. So it's like, come on, man, what are we talking about here? You sending shots. Rashod Bateman had enough. He was tired of it. And everybody on the Ravens, old and new school, came and supported him. Now, he took the tweet down and apologized, but we know why he took the tweet down, because he got a call and said take it down. But he told the truth. Eric DeCosta, listen, I don't think these guys really like Eric DeCosta and Bisciotti like that. Bisciotti, to me, is a very cheap owner. Nobody talks about the Ravens. They always talk about the Ravens are a high-class organization. No, they're not. They're a bunch of conniving snakes, a-holes, who only worried about their bottom line. If they were such a great organization, they would have had more than 2 Super Bowls. They only got 2 Super Bowls because they got lucky on they got the first one. The first one was legit. But then they were supposed to go get a quarterback. These idiots go get Kyle Bowler. Then they went from Kyle Bowler. They went to go get Steve McNair. They were just basically mom and popping the offense. They was just getting players in there to buy time instead of just going to get a franchise quarterback or a franchise player. They was like, nah, we'll lean on our defense. Our defense will get through. Okay, you have a great defense, but dude, what happened in 2000, that doesn't happen too often where your defense is just that dominant, bro. Your defense was dominant. The problem is all your offense had to do was get a couple points on the board. You go get a turnover machine in Kyle Bowler. You got Steve McNair, who was basically done at that point. Then you guys had I think y'all had Troy Smith. That was terrible. So it's like, what are y'all doing? And then y'all didn't even run the perfect offense. You guys are running ground and pound, ground and pound. You guys have not expanded your offense. And that's why you guys lost. That's why y'all were losing the teams. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all would lose. That's why y'all lost to the Colts. That's why y'all lost to the Patriots. Because y'all didn't have a quarterback. And then when y'all got Flacco, y'all finally got a quarterback who can at least complete a pass. So, it's ridiculous. But I agree with Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman is tired of it. He like, look, him and Hollywood Brown and Lamar Jackson, all of them guys were close. Lamar, Rashod, and Hollywood were real close. Hollywood was Rashod Bateman's vet. Hollywood was trying to teach Rashod. But y'all got rid of him because he called out the offense. He called out Greg Roman in the offense. And you know who was protecting him? John Harbaugh. So Rashod Bateman wasn't just talking to DeCosta or Sanders or Saunders, excuse me, they got rid of, or what's the other guy named Greg Roman. He was talking to you, Harbaugh. He was talking to you, and he was talking to Bishotti, all of you guys, because you guys are lowballing Lamar right now. Y'all been blaming Lamar for every goddamn thing in the book but his name. It's crazy. And he got tired of it. He like, look, man, y'all need to stop y'all need to stop dissing or being disrespectful to my quarterback and me and the receivers because we're actually trying. But when we get hurt, you guys don't even want to help us. You guys aren't rehabbing us correctly. You guys aren't stretching us correctly. It's so many things in that tweet he said that I caught. And in the Eric DeCosta interview, I caught all that stuff. I just wanted to see which player was going to jump off the diving board and go all in. And it turned out to be Rashod Bateman, which I was surprised because Bateman really don't talk like that. But when Bateman said what he said, I said, thank you. That's all I needed to hear because Eric DeCosta's full of shit and what he was talking about. It's crazy. Now, so on to the player report cards. Now, the NFLPA put out report cards for each NFL team. Okay? They said in a statement, one of our core jobs as a union is to improve the overall working conditions for our players, which includes the daily experience of players at the team facilities away from the lights and cameras. Excuse me. 1,300 of our players provided information to share with one another about their current club to not only help them make important career decisions, but also help raise standards across the league. Our goals were to highlight positive clubs, excuse me, identify areas that could use improvement and highlight best practices and standards. To learn more about the background of this initiative, read a note from President J.C. Tretter. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, treatment of facilities, an F, nutrition, F minus, weight room, okay. Well, excuse me. The Atlanta Falcons first. Let me go with them. They had a B in the treatment of facilities. Nutrition, they're C minus. Weight room, they're C minus. Strength and staff is D minus. Training room, B minus. Training staff, an A. Locker room is a D. Travel is A minus. So that's the Falcons. Arizona Cardinals. Why would you do that? No. Terrible. Terrible. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, F, treatment of facilities, F minus nutrition, F minus weight room. Their strength staff is A minus, training room F minus, training staff B plus, locker room an F. So you just had two teams with a bad locker room. Now traveling is a B plus. So when they get away from Arizona, I guess they cool. Now the Baltimore Ravens, everybody's favorite organization, it seemed like, which is Cap to me. C plus in the treatment of families. Okay. Arizona Cardinals is an F with the treatment of families. That's terrible. But the Falcons treat their family good. Now the Ravens are C plus, nutrition B minus, weight room C plus, strength and staff F minus. That's why they fired the guy that was head of strength and conditioning department. The save face, training room a C, training staff B plus, locker room A, travel is an A. Excuse me. Now the Buffalo Bills, treatment of family A minus, nutrition C, weight room A plus, strength staff A plus, training room B plus, training staff A, locker room A minus. But when they travel, it is a D plus. So they're good in all areas except traveling. When they leave, it's terrible. But at home, they treat it like royalty. Right. Lamar should sit out and ask for a trade. Any other coach would be fired by now. Facts. I agree, Kraken. He should. He should ask for a trade. Make sure y'all hit the like button. So we got the Chicago Bears. C minus when it comes to treatment of families. D plus with nutrition. A for the weight room. A minus for the strength staff. A plus for the training room, A minus for the training staff. The locker room is an A, and travel is a C minus. So the Bears, they're only slacking in a few things. Now, the Cleveland Browns are a C when it comes to treatment of families, D plus for nutrition, D plus for weight room, A plus for the strength staff, B plus for training room, A for the training staff, D plus for the locker room, and C for travel. Carolina Panthers, your team, crack. A for treatment of families, D for nutrition. Yeah, D for nutrition, B for weight room, A for strength staff, B minus for training room, A plus for training staff, B plus for locker room, and B plus for travel. So shoot, Carolina seem like they doing some things. Now this is disturbing. The Cincinnati Bengals, who just went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, F for treatment of families. So their families are treated like crap. Their nutrition is F minus. Their weight room is B plus. Strength staff A. Training room D minus. Training staff A. Locker room D. Travel C plus. So man. Dallas Cowboys, A plus treatment of families, A for nutrition, A plus, I believe that's the weight room. They weight room A plus, but they still get pushed all over the field. A plus for strength staff, B for training room, A minus for training staff, A plus for locker room, but they get a C minus when they travel. So the Denver Broncos, they're a D plus when it comes to the treatment of families. Wow. They're a D when it comes to nutrition, B plus for weight room, A minus for strength staff, C plus for training room, B for training staff, D plus for locker room, and B plus for travel. The Detroit Lions, Detroit T team, y'all report card. You guys are a B for the treatment of families, which is cool. D minus for nutrition. B plus from your weight room. A minus for strength staff. D plus for training room. B plus for training staff. A B for locker room, and an A for travel. So when y'all get away from Detroit, you guys travel well. Now, the Green Bay Fudge Packers. They're a B plus for treatment of families. They're an A for nutrition. They're an A for weight room. A for strength staff. B minus for training room. A minus for training staff. B for locker room, and A for travel. That's good. But I expect that from the Green Bay Packers. Now the Houston Texans, aka tried to destroy Deshaun Watson's career allegedly. Now the Texans are a B plus for the treatment of families. They're a B plus for nutrition. They're an A for weight room. They're an A for the strength staff. They're a B for training room. They're A plus for training staff, B plus for locker room, A plus on travel. Now listen, I played at the Houston Texans facility. Their facility is beautiful. We played games in there when I was at Texas Southern, and we played the classic in their building. It was against Prairie View. They have one of the greatest facilities I've ever been to. Seriously. It's beautiful. The weight room, the locker room, the training room. It's beautiful. So I give them that. Now the Indianapolis Colts, they get a B plus for the treatment of families. They get a D for nutrition, B for weight room, A minus for strength and staff. You got B from the training room, A plus for training staff, B plus for the locker room, and they get a F for travel. Man, Colts are terrible at traveling. Now, Jaguars, F for the treatment of families, which is true. They do not treat families right in Jacksonville. I remember going to a game. They are a D in nutrition, which I see that. D plus in weight room, A minus with the strength staff, D minus with the training room, A for training staff, D minus for locker room, and a B for travel. That's a Jaguar. So when they get away from Jacksonville, they like, good, let's get out of here. They living their best life, I guess. Now, Kansas City, the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. They are a B with the treatment of families. They're a D plus when it comes to nutrition. C plus for the weight room, which is mind-boggling to me. A minus for the strength staff. D plus for the training room. D minus for the training staff. D minus for the locker room, and they get an F for travel. What is going on in Kansas City, C-Pen? Now, Las Vegas, the Raiders. They are a B in treatment of families. They are A minus when it comes to nutrition. Weight room, they're A plus. They're A plus with the strength staff. They are A for training room. They're B plus for the training staff. They're A plus for the locker room. You know, because it's a new facility, and they're A plus for travel. So the Raiders look good. Now let's look at the Rams. They are a D plus with the treatment of families. Dang. I can see that. The Rams. They're a D when it comes to nutrition. They're a C when it comes to weight room. I can see that. They're A plus when it comes to strength staff. They're a D plus when it comes to training room. They're an A plus with the training staff. They are a D when it comes to the locker room. And they're a B minus when they travel. So, man. The Chargers, who play at the same facility, D minus for treatment of families. They give an F for the nutrition. They get a C minus for the weight room. The strength staff. A minus. F minus for the training room. C minus for the training staff. D minus for the locker room. And then a B for travel. That's the Chargers and Rams. And they just got a new facility. So what's going on? What is really going on? Now, the Miami Dolphins, they are a C plus when it comes to the treatment of families. They are A for nutrition. They're A plus for the weight room. Strength staff is A plus. Training room A plus. Training staff A plus. A plus for the locker room. A for travel. Now the Minnesota Vikings, they are A for the treatment of families. They're A minus for nutrition. They're A for the weight room. They are A plus from strength staff. They're A plus for training room. They're A plus for training staff. They're A plus from the locker room. And then we had A for travel. That's the Vikings. New York Giants, they're B plus for the treatment of families, B plus for nutrition, B plus from the weight room, B plus from strength staff, B plus for the training staff. Training room, excuse me. A plus for the training staff. B for locker room, and they are A minus in travel. Now, the New England Patriots, C minus for the treatment of families, B for nutrition, a D for the weight room. I can see that. B plus for the strength staff. C minus for the training room. They got an A for the training staff, C plus for the locker room, and a D plus for travel. So Belichick like, F y'all, we don't give a damn about y'all when we travel at all. New York Jets, MESS, mess. They are a C plus for the treatment of families. They are a C minus when it comes to nutrition. They're a B minus when it comes to weight room. They're a B when it comes to the strength staff. They're a C plus when it comes to the training room. They're a B for the training staff. A B minus for the locker room, and B minus for travel. New Orleans Saints, B plus for treatment of families. A F minus for nutrition. I can see that. A minus for the weight room, the strength staff. They're A. They're a B when it comes to the training room. An A minus for the training staff. A for the locker room. And then A plus for travel. That's what's up with the Saints. Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl loser. B minus when it comes to the treatment of families. A for nutrition. A minus for the weight room, which I see because Jalen Hurts. A plus for the strength staff. C minus for the training room. It's a lot of training rooms terrible, but they have a great training staff. How is your training room average or below average, but your training staff is top of the line? That don't make no sense. Now you got A plus training staff, C plus when it comes to the locker room, which I could see that locker room probably is not up to par. And then, excuse me, a D when they travel. Man. Now, this is what shocked me. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're a D minus of treatment of family, which I'm shocked at because it's Pittsburgh. B plus for nutrition, C for weight room. Now, the strength staff is A minus, which is good. Now, it's a D minus when it comes to the training room. And then they're a B plus with the training staff. This is retarded to me. Now, they're a D plus when it comes to the locker room. And they're a B when they travel. So a lot of these teams have to get away from home and they good. Now, San Fran, 40 whiners. B plus in the treatment of family, A minus in nutrition, A minus with the weight room, A with the strength staff, C plus with the training room, A minus for the training staff, B plus for the locker room. That's what's up. And they are they are A minus when it comes to travel. Now the Seattle Sea Chickens. B plus for the treatment of families, B plus for the nutrition, A minus for the weight room, A minus for the strength staff, B minus for the training room, which is surprising, B plus for the training staff, which ain't surprising, A minus for the locker room, and a C for travel. Tennessee Titans, a B minus for the treatment of family, B minus with nutrition, B for the weight room, A minus for the strength staff, B minus for the training the training room, A minus with the training staff, C for the locker room, and F for travel. Man. The Tampa Bay Bucks, my Succaneers, and Pico. D plus with the treatment of families, D with nutrition, B plus when it comes to the weight room, A for strength for the strength the staff, C plus for the training room, A minus for the training staff, C for the locker room, and F for travel. I can see all that shit. And Tampa's racist as hell, so I know they're not good with family. The Commanders, F, treatment of families, D plus in nutrition, C plus with the weight room, A plus strength staff, F minus when it comes to the training room, a D for the training staff, which I could see, F minus for the locker room, and F minus for travel. So that's all your 32 teams. So which one surprised you the most? If y'all were listening, people probably done dozed off like, man, we ain't want to hear all the teams, HD. Which one surprised you the most? What surprised me the most is Kansas City. You know, they're a D plus when it comes to their nutrition. They're a C plus when it comes to their weight room. Now, the strength staff is A minus, which is cool. Their training facility is a D plus. That's terrible. Then their training staff is a D minus. You have probably the greatest quarterback of this decade, and you mean to tell me you have a D plus training room and a D minus training staff? Huh? That don't make no sense. Then you got a D minus locker room. And you are an F in travel. Now the treatment of families, y'all got a B because it's Kansas City, man. It's the show me state. Barbecue time. Excuse me. But this is mind boggling to me. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, the treatment of families is a C plus. Nutrition, B minus. Now, this is what I don't like. This is what Rashod Bateman was talking about with the Ravens. They're a C plus when it comes to the weight room. So their weight room is average. Well, above average, but it's like average, a little above average, because it's C plus, not a regular C. So it's above average. Now you have a F minus when it comes to your strength staff. That's why they fired the guy. Excuse me. And you guys are the reason Derek Wolf doesn't play anymore. And that's why they fired their strength and conditioning coach. Now the training room is a C, but the training staff is on point. You had a B plus. The locker room is an A, and travel is an A. So Baltimore, yeah, they're not all the way bad, but they're not all the way great. Right, exactly. Kraken says something interesting. Look what my brother said. Some of the facilities are probably out of date. The owners refuse to invest more money into the upkeep of the stadium. Correct. You're absolutely right. But Arizona shocked me. They're an F for the treatment of families. They're an F minus for nutrition, F minus in the weight room. They have an A minus strength staff, but an F minus training room, B plus training staff, locker rooms a F, travel is a B plus. So basically, they got a great staff. Their facilities just suck. You got a great staff, but you put your great staff in probably some of the poorest conditions known to man when it comes to the facility. Man, what kind of shit? This is crazy. But Kraken, your Carolina Panthers, man, y'all are pretty good. Y'all better than the Bucks. Y'all only thing is nutrition. Y'all cats love to eat too many wings and barbecue and ribs. You guys got a bunch of country girls around there. Y'all nutrition low, but y'all treatment of families is a B, the weight room, the strength staff's a A, the training room's a B minus, your staff is A plus, locker room a B plus, and your travel is B plus. So you guys travel good as well. So y'all above average. Y'all damn near excellent. Shit. Now I'm not surprised by Dallas and the Houston Texans. Like they both got great facilities. They just don't win nothing. Dallas has a great facility, except when they travel. Now the Texans are a better organization from this, because when they travel, they're an A plus when they travel compared to the Cowboys C minus. So that could be look into that. The Los Angeles Rams just got a new facility. Just got a new facility built. It's the coaching. Carolina is a great environment to live and work in. That's facts, Crack. You are absolutely right. But this is what surprised me, Kraken. Los Angeles Rams just built their facility 2 years ago, right? No, 4 or 5 years ago. They're a D plus when it comes to treatment of families. So basically, they said, F those kids. They're a D in nutrition. Their weight room is a C. Now their strength staff is an A plus. You know, their strength staff. Then you got the training room, which is a D plus. You got an A plus staff, training staff. D for the locker room, B minus when you travel. How is your facility? You just built your facility like 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, right? Why the hell do you have that many low numbers when it comes to your weight room and it comes to the training room? What the hell is going on? So, where did y'all put y'all money into? Snacks and other stuff for the building? Well, we'll hire the staff, but we're gonna give you guys a terrible facility to work in. I know it's brand new, but it's not a lot of space. They probably work in the damn maintenance man closet. They work in the maintenance man closet. That's what's wrong. So that's what's going on. The Washington Commanders are a F. The press boxes are probably phenomenal. Man, they gotta be crack. Crack. They gotta be, bro. They gotta be. Shit crazy. The Commanders, dog, they so terrible. That's why they trying to get rid of Daniel Snyder. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. But yeah. But yeah, man. That's all I got. Shout out to Rashod Bateman for saying what he said. I agree with you 100,000%, my brother. And the NFL report card, let me know, man, what you guys think about it. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. If y'all love what y'all hear, you guys could donate to the Cash App by going to the description box, hitting the link to my Cash App, and donate whatever your heart's desire. Thank y'all for listening. It's the Deezy Report signing off. Peace.